Have you ever had a friend stop returning your calls after you closed a big deal? A business owner I work with, we'll call him Mark, he shared that after his company hit its first $10 million a year, the people who once cheered him on grew really quiet. Some questioned how he got so lucky. Others hinted he must have cut corners, and a few, they just disappeared. And their silence said more than words ever could. Genesis 31:1 tells us that Jacob heard the words of Laban's sons who said, Jacob has taken all that was our father's. From what was our father's, he has gained all this wealth. Now pause. Jacob wasn't innocent of every mistake, but in this case, the accusation didn't fit. What they called theft was actually the result of years of work, God's provision, and a blessing that they just didn't understand. Sometimes God's favor on your life will feel like a threat to others. Honestly, it's not because you've done wrong, but because they don't understand how blessing works. And here's the tension. Prosperity can distort relationships. People that you once trusted may question your integrity. Family might feel entitled to what you've earned. Coworkers may assume the worst rather than celebrate your wins. But that's where legacy leadership begins. Not just in what you build, but in how you respond when those blessings bring backlash. Welcome to Legacy Shift, where we explore small truths for an eternal impact. So how do you lead in moments like this? Here's the answer. You lead with character. You guard your heart from resentment. You don't fight fire with fire, and you stay faithful to the one who actually brought you the increase. Jacob didn't argue with Laban's sons. He listened to God, and that led to a pivot in his legacy. The next verse tells us that God said, return to the land of your fathers, and I will be with you. When envy rises, your response reveals your real wealth, not in dollars, but in spiritual capital, in character, in wisdom, in trust. That's the kind of wealth that simply cannot be stolen. And always remember this, success will test your relationships, but character is what will protect them. Take a moment today. Who's in your circle that may be struggling with your success? And another question, are there any relationships that need repair? Or they might even need to be released? And if this hits home for you, send me a message. I'd love to talk to you about how to align your legacy with the call of God, especially when the blessings bring more complexity than comfort. And don't forget to subscribe. We're building a community of leaders that don't just grow wealth, they also grow legacy.